once we start to get
Heavenly Father, help us to make great decisions for the people of Oklahoma County. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Yax.
Here.
Johnston.
Here.
Drummond.
Here.
Brady.
Here.
Small.
Here. Like to approve the minutes from January 7th and the organizational regular meeting. Recommend. Moved and seconded. Any comments? All those in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carried. Public comment. Public comment. Then we'll move on to Julia. And she is joining us via Zoom or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, hopefully everyone can hear me. Thank you for the opportunity to meet with you via Zoom today. My work schedule had me in East Lansing for meetings, and this is an opportunity for me to talk to you about our 2026 memorandum of agreement between the university and Alcona County. I usually present this earlier in the year. I wanted to make sure that the budget was approved before we move forward. There is an adjustment that you'll notice from previous years, an increase in expenditures from the fund balance, which was part of the approved budget for 2026. Our intention with that increase from the fund balance is to create a part-time position, probably, between 10 and 15 hours a week for additional programs to be coordinated with youth at the elementary school. Those could happen both either within school hours or after school hours. And with guidance from school personnel, I've had a conversation with Principal Tim Lee, as well as the Superintendent Dan O'Connor, about how we will leverage that to make sure that youth in the community are having the opportunity to continue to learn. We have the makerspace at the elementary school, and we want to make sure that we have programming that engages that. Stephanie Domke has built and maintained a very robust program of 4-H for the county. And her time is often, captured outside of school days and school hours with those events. So this gives us some flexibility. We'd also had a conversation with Dan and Tim about them having at least a starting point of folks that might be looking for additional employment. So it would add on to employment that they have. And so we think this partnership really helps both the school environment and our own 4-H program. As the program evolves, we may, call upon that person to help us with other events throughout the year, or especially during the summertime when school is not in session. But that's the big change that you'll see. So, if there's questions, I'd be happy to take them from anyone.
We got a fall startup of that program, or are you trying to get something in place this spring yet?
Well, I have a position description drafted, and we would probably post it as soon as I could get approval for the posting through the university. So just so you understand too, that this person would be employed by Michigan State working in the school, not an employee of the school system.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone have questions for Julie?
Okay. So I also had a couple of, as long as I have your time and I have a set time to talk with you, I have a couple of questions about some things. I appreciate receiving the revised employee handbook. Really know that was a lot of work on the part of a lot of individuals in the county building, and appreciate that very much. One of the questions that I had about that is, I am acting in your with your approval as a department head supervisor for our employee who is county paid, Kelly Von Fintel. She let me know she's in the room, so I don't mean to talk about her as if she's not in the room, but so I will make sure that I'm following the guidelines of that employee handbook. And I didn't know, firstly, if there, I know that employees are asked to sign something indicating they've seen the handbook, but I didn't know. I did have some communication with, it was maybe Stephanie or Trina. I apologize if I'm misremembering who I exchanged emails with. Maybe it was Trina, about whether I should sign something saying like, yeah, I've seen this, but I just want to reassure you all that I have seen it. I'm going to do my best to minimize the potential for me to cause any problems for Alcona County at all. But one of the areas that we have that is not, I apologize. I moved my finger across my laptop and apparently muted myself briefly. I wanted to make sure that I asked was if acting as a department head, I continue to have discretion to define how the employee that is employed by Alcona County does their work. So specifically, sometimes, especially during the summer activities and events during fair or other times, we may close the office in Harrisville so that all of our staff can be present for events at the fairgrounds or other locations. And I didn't know if that's okay to do within my discretion. This is the first time it occurred to me to ask, and I apologize for that lack of oversight on my part. But I just want to, I thought I would ask the question before I potentially make choices that create challenges for Alcona County, I guess is the way to say that. We haven't had any incidences, but.
Truly, if I may, if our chairman will let me respond, I think we would feel that you need to do the same thing that we would ask of any other office. Put a sign on your door if you know ahead of time.
Yes.
Post it a week or so ahead, and also perhaps ask that it go on our website. Ask John, and just so people who are looking into it would have at least a little knowledge that, oh, that's right, they're closed because of, and you'll have to list the reason, I don't think. Because another reason that it needs to be closed, which you don't need to advertise. But
yeah,
well, that's agreeable to our chairman.
Yeah, so good to me.
So yeah, I would say don't worry about it.
Okay. So currently, if something unforeseen happens and we have to close the office, there's usually a sign that's on the door that has my phone number, so individuals can contact me directly with any challenges or concerns that they have. We'll continue to do that. That would be in the case of something like employees are ill or out of town. The only other time that I could, there are a couple other instances where I can see this coming up. In the fall of 2026, MSU Extension will have their fall conference, which is an opportunity for staff across the state to gather together for 2 days. We've changed from annual to every other year. And so that would be an instance where we could definitely let you know well in advance. It's in the second half of October. And we could definitely have that posted on the website. It's just a chance for me to make sure that I'm not creating any challenges for you as the employer being the supervisor. And I appreciate it. We'll do our best to make sure that we're maintaining those notification, those helpful communication and notification, what we'll call it habits. We'll try to build some healthy habits with that. So unless there's any other questions for me.
I think we're all set.
Okay. Thank you so much. I will endeavor to see you all in person very soon, but I appreciate this opportunity, and I'll just, if it's okay with you, I'll just sit in the meeting but muted and with my camera off.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Do right now if you want.
I guess I'd make a motion to have the chair sign an annual agreement between You.
Support.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Then we'll do a roll call.
Small,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes,
Johnston,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Brumman.
Yes.
motion carries. Next up, 2026 committee assignments.
Maybe before we go on official.
Absolutely,
Add a couple things to the agenda.
yeah.
Need to sign the NEMCOG contract that is free of charge. Motion of that sometime later if you want to in your business.
And in regards to,
Parks and Rec,
okay,
and also Parks and Rec reappointment of 3 board members.
okay, sure.
Okay, thanks.
Carolyn, did you have something to add as well, a resolution?
Oh, yeah, I would ask that we, add to the agenda. It is resolution 2026-5. That you all received a copy of.
Anything else?
Thank you.
You're welcome. My wife could forget everything.
Iowa 1.6, isn't it? That's the one.
Registry deed, right? This one. Resolutions to Board of Health bills. 52, 54, and 53. Yeah, we'll discuss it when we get there. Okay then, 2026 committee assignments, so to start, I'm going to, create an alternate for the finance committee, and Carolyn has asked if she could be in that position. In exchange, I'm gonna take on her SUD, committee duties.
Finance.
What else is that called?
SUD is part of memory.
Correct.
Memory.
Is
Does anybody have any other questions, be on something different than they are now?
it an alternate position or in
For
addition?
finance, it's an alternate position. So if one of the other 2 people can't be there, she can fill in. And then in exchange, I'll take on that, memory committee, that she's doing right now. You take her off of that. Does anybody have any committees they would, I think, I haven't received anything official other than keep me the same, email wise. I think you may have mentioned something verbally, but I don't remember what it was. No.
We can eliminate. Emergency food and shelter, but it looks like it's been eliminated, which is
Okay.
good.
All right, well, if there's nothing to add, I'll make a motion to approve the, committee assignments.
We can take off Northeast Michigan 211 board because we will not be having, to my knowledge, we will not be having a representative on that.
Will not.
That's what.
I
she said.
resigned a year ago,
Yeah,
well, about 10 months ago, actually.
So we don't have anybody on the 211 board.
No, and they have not approached, to my knowledge, they have not approached us and asked for anyone, and they have a vetting process. I don't know how much they're using it, but they have a vetting process for their board members. So we don't select our representative, they select who they want.
well, we'll take that one off. That's my motion. All those things.
I'll support it.
Moved and seconded. Any more conversation? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Claims.
Make a motion to approve pre-authorized claims and open claims presented for payments between January 7th, 2025, 2026. And January 20th, 2026. for check numbers 159,774, 159,952, and e-checks 2817 to 2832 for a grand total of $720,404.50.
Second. Moved and seconded, any comment, concerns? Roll call.
Small,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes,
Johnston,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Brady.
Yes. Motion carries.
You just had to put 26 instead of 25 on there.
Oh, no.
Thank
By
you.
the 26 vote. Next up is Northeast Michigan Community Mental Health Authority Board appointment request. So we have a request. From Bonnie Cornelius.
I would move that we, ask Ron to continue and take on the 3-year term.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Very well thought of on board.
Well, their letter specifically asked, if you said it's like 30 grand.
Yeah, that name's in there too.
Pardon?
That name's in there too.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Let's go on to the Minnetonka Parks and Rec.
So I think I handed this other email to everybody. Terry was at his meeting and they said, I thought I had signed it, but I guess I hadn't. So it's the free Parks and Rec plan and then kind of doing that reported on about a month and a half ago. They just need Adam to sign it. It's all free charge. So,
Support.
thank you.
Was supported. Any discussion? Is this a roll call? Yeah, so
Contract reserve.
roll call.
Yax,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
I didn't hear contract was for. Memcog, Park and Rec.
Get it done, so. You got that?
Make sure that Stephanie gets a copy.
No. Put the chair at the end of the tour, yeah.
Oh, start number 8.
You can go over to them or?
Email it to,
Yeah.
Ken Kosel.
No, no, that's a contract with Linda Dahmer is putting out there. I can get that for you after.
Yeah, I don't have her.
The next up is the appointment of board members to the Park and Rec.
Yeah, so when we reorganized there a couple of years ago and we had the redo of the whole thing, if you guys remember, it was kind of a mess, but. So one of the things we had said was we did 3-year, 2-year and 1-year terms, and anytime anybody renews, we're gonna renew for a 2-year term. Kind of missed, I believe it was Erie. So the 3, it's in color, but I didn't, the color's not showing up, so. The 3 that are circled are the 3 that need to be reappointed, Rick Smith, Gary Summers, and John Bernard. So I make a motion that we reappoint those 3 to the Parks and Rec Board.
I'll second. Who seconded? Any conversation?
At this point, everybody will be on a 3-year term now.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Wait. Next up. Resolution in support of Michigan House Bills 5152 and 5153. Mitzi, do you want to speak to this a little bit?
I can, yeah.
I think it would be worth it.
So, back in December, the Michigan Association of Registered Deeds, actually, signed this, resolution in support of House Bills 5152 and 5153. This is being brought to the legislature by the Berrien County Register of Deeds. And what she had found was that, there were third-party, firms targeting vulnerable individuals whose mortgage were up for mortgage foreclosure. And they were convincing them to sell their property, give up any of their redemption rights. And they were paying them, nothing of what the actual property or value of the home was worth. So, these third parties were, stripping residents of thousands of dollars. So, the association is just looking to get further support, for both of these House bills. And if you'd like, I can read the resolution. It's entirely up to you, but I
You don't
would
have
be
to
asking.
make it available.
Okay.
I will move adoption of resolution 2026-5.
Who seconded? Thank you.
Thank you.
Any discussion?
Quick question, have we had any attempts in our county of that? type of-
Not that I am aware of, no. But I do know it has happened in Berrien. I don't know if there's other counties that have been affected or not.
Roll call.
Brady,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Small,
Yeah,
Brumman.
Yes,
Next up. It's finance report. We're gonna start with, there's equalization budget adjustment. At the same time, I think tackle, we're gonna make some changes for, the 3% increase that we voted for last meeting for, non-union employees. So you have a sheet in front of you, I think, that details how that money is moving and where it's coming from and what we're doing. Including the equalization department corrections. And I will make a motion to, make these changes.
I'll support.
There's some, you know, both in one.
Yep, or knock it all out in one go ahead. Any more discussion? Okay, then we'll do a roll call.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brumman,
yes,
Small,
yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Brady.
Yes. Next up. For finance, we're gonna have a meeting directly after this meeting's over. I will say, to Sheila, for your information, Dave and I already met with, Jen,
Okay.
so she's not gonna come down.
Okay.
What else for finance? Oh, this is some more things we gotta move around or not?
No,
just Okay.
this right now.
Alright. Then, of course, we're working with, to get 2025 closed out. And everything, situated for 26. Other than that, just move on to personnel.
There's not one thing we have, of interest at this point, so our electrical inspector. Has resigned, we're in the process of putting out ads, or Dan is, building department head. Putting out ads for, a new electrical inspector, hopefully that'll go well, he's reached out to a couple. Different areas, and I think John was helping him on Indeed this morning, so getting something on that. Other than that,
Well, I had a call and I forgot to talk to you about it, Craig, but it's just for discussion at this point. I talked to Scott Rice last week and he would like us to contemplate emergency manager salary and how it is handled for payroll. We're treating it like a contract scenario when it's really not anymore, but anyway, it stayed stagnant for the last, whatever, actually, we didn't elect to give a raise to that position. So, in fairness to Scott, I'm not asking for motions or anything else, just everybody can consider and think about it. If there's a different way to approach it, just give it some thought. So, that's all I have for personnel. And we will go to the treasurer's report.
It was staying for a long time.
Sure.
Yeah, I did the same thing as it was with Buffy.
I am footing, I'm just footing for Bob. Yeah, just do for Bob. So we're all aware, we can all. Thank you.
Under finance, are we going to approve the, contract with Anderson?
Oh, right away.
Well,
We're gonna let Sheila.
I'm
present
gonna
for
do
us.
that in my report,
Yeah,
just so I
yeah.
can give you information on, okay.
Yeah. Carry on, Sheila.
Okay, I did, speak with, Anderson and Techman in regards to, audit for 2026. They did send me you have a copy in front of you of the engagement letter. I did speak with them in regards to how the audit ran last year. It was fully remote, which was, different for us, because we've always done on-site, audit. And, I did talk to Ariana. She's one of the auditors at Anderson and Techman, and she said it is not a problem for them to be on site. They're looking at April 20th through the 24th, that whole week. And, I also asked for an exit interview. That is something that we've always done, you know, right around like Thursday or Friday. They kind of go over with the clerk, the treasurer, any commissioners, just kind of showing, findings, concerns, anything. And she said they can do that as well, so. If you guys are in agreement to that, I can confirm it with them for April 20th, the week of April 20th, and get our audit on its way.
We've always, you know, going back, we've always, as you know, we've always done an exit interview.
Yes, last year was very unusual, and I explained that to her, that we've never done it that way before. And she says it's not a problem for them to come on site and do the audits.
I think we need
I
to.
think do it all on site or partially.
So they do it for that first week, and most of the, if they have any questions, concerns, information, they get it from the clerk's office, treasurer's office, and any other department head that, they need information from. So I will send out an email to all the department heads, letting them know to be available that week in case they do need to pull any kind of records or any information for the audit.
And usually any that have cash drawers, I mean, they would physically come into your office and audit your cash drawer right
Yeah.
on the spot.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen and.
No, and Cheryl actually did that last year. She went to all the departments and did audit all the drawers and send that information to the auditors, so. But, you know, it would be kind of nice if they did it.
Back to the exit interview, if I may. On more than one occasion, we were going to get dinged for something. And that exit interview allowed us to interject that we really did have the material they were asking for, and that ding went away. And so I think it's important to have an opportunity to clarify and to clear
Yes, and that was,
problems
I did bring that up, and
as best we can.
yeah, and that is something they said they would do again.
I just scanned it briefly, we just got it, but I am not seeing the 18 months, validity, 18 months after presentation.
I can, to be honest with you, I have not read this thoroughly either. I mean, I just received it
For me,
myself.
that's important.
Yeah, but I can make a note of that and ask them to.
How time since can we approve this next meeting?
Yeah, there's no rush. I
Okay.
just, it was more of just letting you guys know, you know, that they reached out to me and.
I'd be the only, I'm not flying anyway, but I know we've always talked about, should we change? And this isn't based on performance, I didn't get that fine, but we've talked, I think the last 2 years, maybe we gotta look at a different accountant this time. To have a different set of eyes, would we wanted, maybe that's,
They have given us a different set of eyes though.
they've done a good job of
They've been
having
responsive
various
to that.
people. I know the road commission switched from them this year and went to a different one, just because they wanted a different accountant to look at it, so. We've said that in the past, you know, this is the time to take a look at that and get another bid or not, or just keep everybody. Bring it
Not
back.
against it.
I think it's late to get a bid.
Well, I wondered that, probably, but when you said, no, we got lots of time, and I wonder, maybe it's okay. That's but
Well, but this is what if we were to
Yeah,
Get out 26.
this fall.
Yeah, maybe,
Could
yeah.
be the 26. But even that needs to be done before, almost before some.
Food for thought.
Audit has to be completed, I believe, by like June 1st or June 30th because of the F-65 that needs to be filed and stuff, so.
If we were gonna switch, it has to be now,
yeah,
right, or the next
absolutely,
meeting,
absolutely.
if we're gonna put something out, then that we have to do it now.
I'm not advocating that we leave Anderson Jackson.
Yeah.
But if we were to. we gotta get with it.
Better, thank you. We can get estimates in other places. All right,
And
good idea.
talking about the next meeting, I will not be here. I have my conference from February 1st to February 4th. My class ends at noon on February 4th, so I won't be here. So just if you guys do revisit this, just kind of let me know so I can correspond with Anderson and Techman on whatever direction you guys decide we should go. And there will not be anybody filling my slot next week or February 4th either. My deputy will not be able to attend because I need her upstairs because we're short staffed. So I apologize for that, but she's not gonna be able to fill in for me. And I think that's pretty much it.
Get in trouble, it's too late. That's right, I'm taking trouble. Yeah, right after. Then, clerk's report, please.
Tina is working on all of the beginning of the year stuff for 2026. And this is definitely a busy month for her with W-2s and special pays for the first of the year and new salaries are in and so January is gonna fly by for her. Trina just completed the OSHA reporting online. It's kind of part of the audit that they're doing, but that's one thing that we've always been diligent on. So that's complete and we're in compliance with that. And there's a special posting I gotta put of any injury related cases that were filed throughout the year. Elections this year are starting apparently in January of each year. The canvassers have to appoint also who their chair and vice chair are on the even numbered years. And the contracts that were created for what services of 9 days of early voting the county would provide and what we could charge for. So there are some slight changes to that contract because like I said, at first it's part of my statutory duties to handle the elections. So I didn't know that if I was gonna be able to charge for myself. And now that we see the first round of 9 days of early voting, how other counties have treated it. So I do need to change the contracts with them. Plus, they recommend they be changed and signed by any new clerks that have taken over. That also has happened. And yes, the electrical inspector's position that has been posted on Indeed, we've already started receiving a couple of applications. I'll keep those on file until the filing deadline, and then I'll hand those over to personnel or Dan.
Both.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but then I'll say email chain, I talked to him this morning, Adam and I and Dan will take care of it.
Kind of like how we handled it with Jen.
Yes.
Hiring her.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. There was something else. Also, on the agenda, I put Gogebic County resolution. It's in fact Cass County. I don't know where I came up with that, but also kind of working with Terry in regard to the waste management material plan. There's some steps that we need to take in regard to an agreement with Eagle and how payments will be handled for 2026. So he's gonna email his contact, I'm gonna email my contact, and we're still plugging away at getting this figured out.
If you haven't seen the agreement between the two.
Right. Or give me a point of contact of who to contact the Eagle or
And then once we do, let's see if we can get them to zoom in on a meeting and talk to us about it.
Which one you want?
The Eagle person, Eagle, yeah.
Part of that, I believe part of that letter is, they, after we sign the agreement, then we begin to talk to Eagle more, and they have a contact person on there in the letter.
Well, who was the lady that we were speaking to? She came here in person and presented. Wasn't she was part of RRS or something?
I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Okay. Cause I don't see the people or the meetings, so I don't know who the,
I think they all kind of work together on the project.
okay,
So where one might have more expertise in one area, they.
right. So these are the kind of correspondences, I keep getting correspondence from this Caitlin. And so, yeah, Ypsilanti, yeah. So, the thorough process, so we'll just keep moving along. I think that's all that I have.
Okay. Then we'll move on to the sheriff's report.
Oh, Craig, can I also get the board appointment people thing that you had?
Looks like a long report, but I promise it's not. First thing I wanted to mention is that, if you're not aware of the 3 officer involved shootings in northern Michigan since Thanksgiving. The first in Thanksgiving was Prescott County deputies who were involved in a shooting that went down in Alpena County. The next one was shortly thereafter, Alpena PD was involved in a fatal shooting. That was not, well, it was a fatal shooting, but the Prescott County shooting was not fatal, but the one in Alpena PD was. And January 2nd, Cadillac PD was involved in a shooting there, so. A lot going on, too close to home and too close for comfort, so that's just for your information. Last weekend, we had a deputy involved in a crash, responding to an emergency call. He banged his head, was slightly injured through by EMS, so there wasn't much of an issue there, but the issue is there's about $9,800 of damage to a car that's got 190,000 miles. The adjusters can come look at it tomorrow. Wouldn't surprise me either way how that went, so we're just kind of wait to see. Some 2025 statistics that we've got in now. We had 3,750 calls for service, with 153 arrests, which was down from 192 the year before. We did 1,100 traffic stops, which is down from about 1,400 the year before, and 600 citations, down from 635 the year before. All fairly consistent though overall. Beyond that, the deputies worked 169 hours of overtime each, which is 4 1/4 weeks, which is a little over a month of overtime last year. And that's on top of the 104 hours that they worked. So they worked a lot. Got busy, as you can see from the numbers above that. As far as our courthouse security training, I distributed some training to the department heads, November, December-ish. And I really only heard from one department head. He just didn't call back and say that they're done with theirs. Waiting to hear from the rest of them. And then the second phase of that, we're gonna do it in person, where we come to the offices and talk to them specifically how to handle things in their office or in the hallway surrounding their office. Run, hide, fight is kind of the premise behind all of that. So we'll go over that. I think it's probably better to do it specifically with them rather than in a big group where we're not looking at the room. And certainly if we wanted to talk about an issue or a situation that occurred during a commissioner's meeting, we could look at this situation too. That's but generally it's premised on the run, hide, fight premise. Knowing what to do or having some thoughts ahead of time before it happens and we freak out and going, oh my God, I have to run, because running is always an option. But we'll be working on that in the near future. If you haven't heard, our transition to Alpena County Jail has gone very well. As a matter of fact, they've already sent me the first bill, and I submitted for a bill for my Osco County. I just got that a couple days ago. I sent that in for payment for 2025. So we're pretty well caught up on that. Our cadets performing very well over at Kirtland Community College, it sounds like, so we're getting excited as we move closer and closer to having them back and putting them out. The TASER 10 project, which you approved last year, we have those in and we're training on them. We should be wrapping up training this week. And if the instructors are comfortable, we'll have those fully deployed by the end of the week. Probably gonna keep my corrections staff with the old ones for now, just because we don't have enough of the newer ones. And I am looking for voluntary exposures to the new TASER 10. Commissioner Small,
Done it, no,
not TASER 10, you have
I've done one taser, I ain't.
it. Same response I'm getting from my staff, as
Why?
they've taken the ride once and nobody wants to do it again.
Can you do it outside if you do, so we can all see?
Unless you want to volunteer.
Film at 11.
No, thank you.
So the difference, if you're not familiar, the old ones had shot out two darts at one time, separated by 7 degrees or 8-degree angle, so that it developed a little bit of distance between the two, and the electricity flows between the two probes. And they're finding that there's too much failure. One of the probes would miss or not make good contact. So what they did is they load the new ones up with 10 darts, and each time you pull the trigger, 1 dart comes out. So if you hit one, you always have to pull a second time. You have to pull the trigger a second time and get a second dart into them. If one of the other darts doesn't make contact, then that's what 3 through 10 are for, so that you get 2 that are making good contact. These things are so advanced that they pick up on the electrical impulses through those lines. If there's not contact, it doesn't discharge, and it doesn't discharge until there's contact between at least 2 points. So they're really sophisticated. They're a little bit new to get used to. You'll notice they're cross draw on the weekend side, and that's so we're not screwing up and drawing gun and saying taser and vice versa. There's some horrible videos out there of seeing people go taser, 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 and then they pull the trigger on a firearm and somebody's dead. So that's the biggest malfunction with taser is operator error.
Is it possible to shoot all 10
It is.
and 10 of them discharge?
So I don't think so. I think it only, I mean, you can put 10 darts in somebody, but it's gonna take the best electrical connection between the two and use those. If you're deploying 10 of them, it's because you've missed on 8 of them. That's really the only reason. We did some.
I don't know, it's like shooting, once you start shooting, you don't stop.
We had some discussion about that yesterday too, about, when we see police officers entering their magazines. If it was gonna be something like that, I don't know. I think that's something some of the training aspect that we're gonna have to look at. We fired yesterday at basically a rug that's sent to us by them that has areas to target, areas not to target. And the first time I fired it, the second round didn't make the connection, so I had to fire a third time. But they're very, very accurate. It's got a laser dot on it. It's also got plastic sights, just like a Glock has or any other handgun. They seem to be very accurate. Again, I haven't seen them on a live subject yet, but we're always willing. No?
Nah.
All right. Well, if anybody changes their mind, again, that comes with the, I just really money involved, $100. Quite a bit of paperwork. There's quite a bit of paperwork for the volunteer exposure, but certainly I help you full on it. If anybody's interested.
Gotta pay my deductible.
No way. Anyways, that came along with the virtual reality training segment that I talked to you guys about before. And I'd likely bring that over at some point, share that with you if we can. I'm just not sure technology wise whether I can move it over here. If not, if I can, I'll bring you over there and show you. It's pretty cool. And with things going on in the news and the media, and second guessing use of force situations, pretty applicable, it has every situation in the world imaginable that you can program into that. It's AI based, so you put whatever in there. And I imagine we can put you in front of a car that's trying to flee, and you can decide whether to shoot or not. So it'd be very applicable. I don't know. The other thing we bought towards the end of the year, I budgeted for it. I didn't know if I had the money at the end of the year, but we did, was these ballistic helmets. And they're a Kevlar helmet that's rated up to about 45 caliber round that it'll protect the head from. I've been looking at them for several years, and we just finally budgeted to get them this year. And when I wanted to get them was after the 2018 active shooter we had. when I got out of the car and I had this nice haircut protecting my head, and the state police all had Kevlar helmets and they were walking around, and I said, we gotta do something different. We can't be showing up here with haircuts protecting our head, and those guys had helmets. So we got those, and we're deploying those this week too, so. Hopefully that keeps our melons safe. They sure are heavy enough, so I think they will.
Did I ask how much each one would cost?
No, 'cause well, you can, but I just don't remember. I think they were neighbor $200 or $300 each. Yeah. And they weren't the highest rated helmet out there. They were a pretty mid-level.
Very insignificant in the one.
It is, yeah, of course, how you're looking at it, it really isn't, as much money as we put into each one of these guys and equipment and vehicles and things like that, a couple $100 each to protect their heads really isn't that much. I do have the 2 union contracts, the undersheriff and I have looked them over. I don't know where you guys are at on voting. I know we had some closed sessions and I know the tentative agreements were voted on and approved. I don't know if the final agreement's been voted on or if you need to vote on that or not, but I did bring those. They're signed by my staff and the staff from both the unions and the union business agent. So I have those if you're interested in signing those. Or if you need to vote on it, I just don't know where you guys are at on that.
We haven't had a final vote on it.
Okay.
It was just the up to that. Yeah, yeah, we could.
I don't have much else. I went to the hunt board meeting last week and there wasn't much more other than the same situation being short staffed and they're still not real happy that we don't have anybody on that team. We're not the only ones, so. And I also won't be here for the next meeting because next Friday I fly out to Washington DC for the sheriff's conference. And I'll be there for about 4 or 5 days. I don't like big cities and I don't like a lot of people and I don't really like flying, so I'm doing a lot of my comfort zone. Well, no likes there. Yep, there sure is. But I look forward to it. I'm gonna represent the sheriffs of Michigan there and I look forward to that. I sit on a couple of committees. I don't know what for yet, but also representing Michigan sheriffs on those committees. I think everybody's state president gets to sit on those committees, so it'll be exciting. Our executive director goes every year with the sitting president. I understand he's a great host and a great tour guide. He knows all the places to go and see and fits it in, so. And hopefully he's on time. He's picking me up in an Uber at the airport at Reagan International on Friday afternoon, and I'll feel a lot better once I'm in his hands when I get down there. All right, that's what all I have.
Transition for Alpena?
Yeah, very well. Going very well. Matter of fact, I had that on here somewhere tonight.
You already mentioned it.
Yeah. The only thing I really mentioned is we had the undersheriff and jail administrator down yesterday. We met with the judge about some programs that they offer that aren't offered everywhere. And it sounds like she's very encouraged by them. You may have seen the Ignite program that was initiated in Genesee County by Sheriff Swanson, who's running for governor right now. And it's basically a get back to work when you get out of jail, get some certifications, some training, some skills, so that when they get out, they have something to fall back on. They've had it in Alpena County for a couple of years, and the reason I have to talk to the judge about that is that it comes along with some sentence reductions, and I think the judge was very receptive to thinking that's worth it. If it helps keep them out, and it doesn't conflict with the drug court or sobriety court situation, because those folks generally are not incarcerated, they're generally out in the public, and these folks are locked up. So very encouraging. They have good programs as far as that. They have AA, NA, church services, substance abuse treatment things going on up there that we just sort of see from IOSCO, which isn't uncommon for Northern Michigan. We're generally 8 to 10 years behind in those type of things in the jails. And I just talked to Commissioner Brumman about this earlier, even as far as like naloxone. Our community is way more hesitant to put that out in the community than we're downstate. That's taken a while to come to fruition up here where we're more accepting and handing that out. Same with substance abuse treatment. And medically aided treatment and withdrawal from the jail. It's a bigger thing downstate. And all my buddies in the Sheriff's Association say it's just a matter of time before you have to do it up north too. And what it is we don't want people walking out of our jails sober and dying on day one because they got back into something that was either more potent or their tolerance level was so low that they couldn't tolerate what they were taking. up here, a lot of people like me think that relies on the individual and individual bad decisions. Other people think this is a psychological disorder that they can't help themselves and they're gonna use, and we might as well try to help them through that. So there's a lot of room in there in between for debate, but the bottom of it is nobody wants to see people walking out of their jails and dying on day one. So that's the basic good advice you guys have.
All right, thanks much.
No problem. I do have those here. If you do, intend on voting on that or voting for that, I'll.
Leave it with Stephanie. And then, we wanna try to do it today? Yeah.
And did we get the ambulance warning sign?
Yes.
We're good with that?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the same thing with this one. You signed and agreed to
TAs
the
and all that,
TA,
yeah.
now this is the actual contract.
And if we do sign that, I have one copy that we're all do is I'll take and get sure it gets made and follow
Okay.
up, so.
Thank you.
How many do we keep, we have in jail, between 10 and 15?
Yep.
So we get 15 without being in out.
We did. Yeah, 15 for less than what we were gonna pay you 10 for that, so, yeah. And I told them, one week, they came down to me with the judge, we had lunch beforehand, and I said, you know, I got 15 guys for a reason, and I'm throwing them up, so. They didn't see that problem.
Scott, one more thing, this injury,
Mhm.
has this been reported to training?
Doesn't have to be.
Right here, this one, the last quarter.
Oh, he looked at my ambulance and he was fine, so there has been no medical treatment, there's no costs, no. Per day.
Even
I make a motion
though
that
she'll still turn it in.
offer that the chair to sign for the contracts.
So there's no injury returning, so I'm not opening that door for. that
Moved and
employee.
seconded,
We can talk later.
Not for the chair to sign it.
Who was the first?
I made the motion.
Greg, and then,
Carrie.
Terry. POAM and COAM, right?
No.
No, what are they called now?
It's POLC, those are the
yeah.
formal titles to be used, yeah.
But this is with the command officers?
Both.
Both
Command
command and
Command and line deputies.
deputies. Motion on table and seconded, any discussion? Okay, then, roll call,
Brumman. Brady.
yes.
Yax.
Yes.
Small.
Yes.
Johnston.
Committee reports, Craig?
Oh, there, I'm gonna get first. I don't. No, so I can't. Road Commission was at their meeting. They probably brought up was they did change their auditor this year. And also talking with Jesse, there's a lot, and especially out in County, a lot of right away permitting being pulled for fiber. There's a bunch of stuff happening out in the area. I'm not sure what that's all about.
Call bands going down as well.
All being Brightspeed, there's several people over there.
I've been seeing it from that too.
Yeah, quite a bit of, he said it's getting a lot of work going on. I said, I'm drawing a blank on the rest, so.
Dave?
Just, we had a couple township meetings, pretty slow time of year.
Terry?
Attended the CMH meeting. They're in the middle of a lawsuit in an attempt to keep their status the way it is, rather than the state is trying to change them to be more of a bid system. They are involved in that. Our director up there actually testified in Lansing as to why, which stayed the same. They think it's going to hold a good testimony. We're waiting the outcome of that, obviously. NGOG meeting, it did bring back, what Craig indicated there, from there. They're meeting only quarterly. There's something NGOG related, you might have to do individual to keep it up. That leads me to materials. My favorite subject to talk about, try to talk about, because I'm something, don't feel I'm very good at it. Thanks again, Steph. pain part of this.
We'll get through it.
I know, yeah, we'll try to get through, wading through this thing. It's an ongoing process. I think we've already talked a little bit about it. The state has changed it. We're hoping to get payments started here in the next few months, so. So we see some of the revenues coming in that, we've been promised by the state that, they've changed the rules. I appreciate everybody's understanding in this situation, because we're doing the best we can with what we have.
Well, the whole thing is confusing, and that's why,
Mhm.
I would appreciate if somebody from Eagle could talk to us,
All right,
you know, and so as you're having your conversation,
That would be great.
you know, if they could come in and do a presentation for us to just say, hey, you know what, here's how it's working, we're gonna be.
What's changing on
Yeah, I
their
think
part
that's-
all the time.
yeah,
Would be
that's
important,
fair, that's fair.
if you can, I know it's not always possible,
We'll see how agreeable they are to talking.
should be very, I would think.
I would think so too, but at the same time, I'm not gonna make any predictions.
Maybe they don't wanna deal with it either. Could be.
That's all I got.
Carolyn,
I too want to thank Stephanie and John, for plotting their way through the FOIA. Another FOIA from Cliff, not from Cliff, from our favorite Oscoda Township Board member. Had an LAPC and an LET meeting. Spent a lot of time on Cliff pulling together the FOIA material that I had put together. As I said, Stephanie and John have also been putting stuff together. Did not make either one of my township board meetings. Just routine stuff.
speaking of townships, all their budgets are coming up here due in February, so if there's anything you could think of that, would be a benefit for them to know between now and their planning process, that'd be a good time to bring it up instead of wait till March. They'd probably be a little more angry at that point.
Elections, especially.
That's what I'm saying, so if you notify them now, they can pre-plan, cause
I had
they're,
some clerks reach out to me, but if
they're,
there's some new clerks or new treasurers or.
my recommendation would be is just send it to everybody and just do it because well, I think Gus just handed out their paperwork Monday. For everybody to take home and review, and they're gonna have their,
Keep the one that asked.
yeah. Then we'll move on to communications, they're in your packet, browse at your leisure. Last public comment? See any? Commissioners, additional comments and concerns? I'm not gonna do it, I'm gonna wait, talk to her first. Then we'll adjourn the meeting until, Wednesday, February 4th.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, did you have something?
Nope, you already did it.
Okay.